It's by no means easy. You not only need a good sample of DNA, but in some cases you need a close relative still living today so that they can be used for the cloning process. But even if we have the technology, most experts agree that it's not a good idea to bring back long extinct creatures. There are many ethical and environmental issues that could arise, and of course it would be very expensive. The habitats that these animals used to thrive in may not be around anymore, and as problems with invasive species have shown us, introducing an animal into an ecosystem where it doesn't belong can have disastrous consequences. In other ways, it's almost like scientists are playing God by bringing long-gone animals back into existence.
The problem with the concept of let's not play God. The problem is with that entire mentality is that it doesn't allow for progress. I hate that mentality, and I'll continue expressing how much I hate the idea of humanity being like, we should stop to think on whether or not if we should instead of thinking on whether or not if we can. Can we bring back an extinct species? Well, theoretically speaking, yes. Should we? Well, let's look at the, theoretical, that's the important bit, theoretical consequences of bringing back an extinct species. Take, for example, bringing back the thylacine, which is a Australian marsupial which pretty much evolved similar traits to that of a wolf. Bringing back the thylacine would, what harm would it do? First of all, any thylacines that would be brought back, trained on how to be a thylacine, thylacine, would effectively, do what a natural thylacine does, which is, eat, prey animals. Would this be a good idea? Technically. It depends on who you ask. But in regards to genetics research, which is the more beneficial bit, the answer is yes. In a way, theoretically speaking, by bringing back said extinct organism, one could bring balance back to environments where there is none, as well as rewriting the wrongs that humanity has done. So, is it morally, a good idea? In my eyes, yes. Would it help technological progress, especially genetics progress? Yes. But, should we not do it because it's in the name of playing God? And the answer is, yes, we should do it. We're already moving mountains, creating rivers, creating lakes and crap, and that's what God can theoretically do. Why not bring back extinct species? And of course, like it's been stated, the environments that these extinct species, like pretty much the conditions that cause these species to go extinct in the first place, is still there. So in a way, would they become an invasive species? No, they would not. In fact, I would argue that they would become an endangered species right off the bat as soon as they become, de-extinct. So, no, they wouldn't become an invasive species. In fact, it's actually more likely that they would just go back extinct if we were to bring them back. However, would it bring up, would it aid in research and development? Yeah. Would it help with our better understanding of genetics? Yeah. Would this be beneficial in the long run? Absolutely. But in the end, is there anything to worry about bringing back extinct species? No. Because like I stated, and like it's been stated, the thing that caused them to go extinct in the first place is still there, and is still continuing. So, even if we were to bring them back, they ain't going to become invasives. And even if they were, then we know exactly how to eradicate them again. There are species that we have eradicated before. And we can do it again if they do become an invasive species and actually bring more harm than good to the environment. But yeah. Is it morally right? Yes. Should we do it? Yes. Will it be playing God? We already do play God. Don't use that line of thinking ever again in regards to modern day society. We already make mountains. We already make rivers. We already make lakes. We already make what God can theoretically make, except stars and planets. We can control the environment for God's sake if we wanted to. Hell, not sure if many people knows this, but you can theoretically create your own little thunderstorm if you damn well please by sending a weather balloon, up into the stratosphere or up into a cloud somewhere, release a shit ton of dust particles into the darn cloud, and then you get rain. Could explode a salt canister with fine salt into the darn clouds, and you get rain. Then there's of course ionizing said clouds to get rain, and so on and so forth. In other words, we can control the weather. We can already control the climate if we wanted to. We can already control the weather if we wanted to. Hell, if we wanted to, we can create giant ice machines that can create entire glaciers. We don't do that because why not? We have the technology now to create a Tech 1 civilization. A civilization that can control weather, climate, geology, because we already have, accidental tools that can create earthquakes. Remember those shelling companies that has those shelling rigs where they can hydropressurize the ground, where they force oil out of the ground and all of that? Well, that technology has been proven to cause earthquakes. So we can already create earthquakes. We can already theoretically control the climate. We can already theoretically control weather. We can already do all of this other things, but we can't control genetics. We already have the building blocks for it. But of course, there's another thing though. I'm going to take back the statement about controlling genetics. Actuality, we have created, artificial life forms, being artificial bacteria, artificial viruses. We have created enzymes, proteins, and the like. We have genetically modified organisms from hell and back. We have bred organisms from hell and back. So why not bring back extinct organisms or create an entirely new species? Don't know. We don't want to play God.